Long-awaited top 32. What spice exists down here? Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. So if you guys didn't see your top 16 earlier in the day from Kongs, please do go check it out. And you guys will get to see some other cool things here. So we have Malice starting off here in our top 24. And honestly, I mean, you're just going with standard bestial interactions in here. So we got the dormouses and the white rabbits in here, and still going with one of each of the traps. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty normal day in the office. And of course, all the standard stuff in between. All right, I see you. Next up here, we have more Malice. There was a lot of Malice down here. The fact that, you know, our Malice variations were doing well. Also, we're playing Reptilianne and Chinda down here. Definitely a card to toss into the side deck, I suppose, if it does come up. But I mean, we'll see where these option lines can actually go. It's all about just using the bestial interactions to be able to punish the opponent. But hey, being able to detonate her and go seems really good. Next up here, we have Saji and Friends. You do see a lot more of these builds have been actually playing the Fiendsmith Sanct in here. The Fiendsmith Sanct definitely, you know, is more of a budget option, I feel like, at this point in time. You know, you don't have to deal with the dangers of Tract or, you know, actually spending the money on the Tract either. But that's okay. Seeing the evolution of some of these combo lines here and how these decks are trying to handle these evolutions, I think is really, really cool. Next up here, we have more Evil Twin action. I'm very surprised to see Evil Twin having performed up to the point out here that this deck just looked very, very strong to be able to do its thing. Also, Santa Claus? I mean, you got to be a little bit more prepared for Lunalights right now. So having these power cards that you can just trample over your opponent's monsters to give you that opportunity to actually play the game, I think is a very, very critically important part of the modern era. Ooh, we have Heraldic Rizal, and we're actually playing the Scantos in here. Oh boy, being able to pull out a Scantos and pressure your opponent with this card is really, really crazy. Also, you know, you have access to both of these. Also, since we are doing Heraldic Rizal things, we're also playing the Twin-Headed Eagle and the Unicorn in here. I see we were getting spicy in our Heraldic Beast decision-making skills out here. I also see we are playing a copy of the Scatter Shot for time. All right, we got some blue eyes for you here. Okay, we're actually playing a copy of the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. That's actually kind of interesting. I mean, between this and bouncing back and forth on some of the other options that players have been having, I feel like this one's a pretty safe one to go with, just, you know, to be able to extend and set up. Also, going with the Drill Beam as a one-of in here. Also, only 2 copies of Wishes. I feel like this is okay. Sometimes Wishes can be what feels like a bad card. Next up here, we have some Lunalight action for you. Okay, this Lunalight build actually going with triple Super Poly in the main deck. Now, I can get behind this. I mean, Super Poly is just a universally broken board breaker for what it needs to do. Also do see we are playing the Muddy Mud Dragon down here, and we are going with triple copies of the Heavy Polymerization in this deck. Heavy Poly being able to give you that control side of things, to be able to smash through the opponent is probably going to be pretty important. Our last top 24 is some more Momento action for you. You know, Momento actually going with all of the Charmies in the world in this deck. I mean, just making sure that you have all of the power access to these cards to be able to control your opponent, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. You've got to be able to net into those resources and be able to get through things. So, I mean, your top 24 is a pretty stable chunk of decks for your meta challengers. Next up here, we have, some Mitsurugi good stuff for you. You know, I do mean this in like the best way possible, but this deck is definitely going to be old reliable for people. Players are going to be playing this. They're going to be looking at the course of the format, and they're going to go, oh, hey, you know, this deck worked out and performed very, very well for me, so I can go ahead and play this. It's very consistent. You know, we don't have to worry about the downsides of the bad cards. I feel like that's actually fine. You get the stable side of things going, and you're good to go. Sky Striker. Oh, got a pure variant here. Going with triple and 2. I think this is fine. Bestials are still running around in the format. You got to be very careful who you're going to see. Also see we're going with the lava golems, and you don't have a choice, man. Especially with Lunalights propping around the corner, you got to be able to clean up those problems and go. It's also not like we don't have Hampen here as well to be able to kind of help you out. So, I mean, this is a good variant to actually see. Ooh, we have Protoss, we have Saji's and friends, and, okay, so this is Fiendsmith with the all of the packages, I guess, that you could want to see in the world in here. Talk about, you know, just craziness. Also, Synced, continuing to see some massive play in here. I do appreciate, once again, you just get to see how good Synced is. This card, not having to play the track and having those cheaper budget options, I think is very, very good. We're also side decking the Fiendsmith in Paradise here. Next up here, we got Orcus Mitsu. I know a lot of players were really wanting to test out this variant and see what they could do. This build chose to go with Sphere Mode of all things. I don't necessarily like this deck playing Sphere Mode. I don't really feel like this progresses where you're trying to go. Also, if your opponent's not ending on 3 monsters, you're just in a super bad position. And that's something that I really feel like you can't afford to have. Also, having access to the impulses. Okay, we're good to go. Next up here. Ooh, we got some more Mitsu Rizal action for you. Going with the 1 Megatama in here. The 3-3 split on these. Also do see having the Meows in here to draw you some additional cards. We have 8 Malcharmies accounted for in this list, which is kind of crazy to think about out here, but, you know, we're going to be trying to find as many resources as we can. Also, we're playing the Mischief of the Gnomes. I feel like I'm really far behind right now with seeing Mischief actually pop up again, but okay. Next up here, we have more Malice action for you. I'm glad to see that Malice has continued to hold on out here as a very strong meta challenger. Also going with the 1 copy of I Meet You. You do see that Crossout Designator coming up in the side deck as well. Going with the triple Mistaken Arrest here. This card definitely has been one of the better staple options that I think players have been having access to. And once again, you see that Mischief of the Gnomes back here. I don't think that Mischief is a good card at all, but okay. Next up here, more Mitsurugi for you. Every player that couldn't have success back here still playing this. But I mean, once again, it's old reliable. You do see we are going with the triple copies of the Harvey's Featherstorm down here, doing its job. And of course, the Great Purification itself. We also got access to all the Malcharmies that you could want in the world in here. And of course, we've got the auto stop button here in the form of the Droll and Lockbird, just to be able to seize up and do exactly what we needed to do. In our last variant here was actually Gimmick puppets. This one actually really surprised me. This duelist worked their butt off to climb up to the ranks here and to be able to get to this top cut finish here and to be able to go, hey, I made it. I'm a real deck, you know, I can actually, you know, do things here. I thought that was a really cool thing. I didn't expect to actually see Gimmick puppets actually doing anything out of this top cut. Now that is the wrap up to your Kongs event. Getting a landscape idea of what the NAWCQ is going to bring to the table here, I think is really, really interesting. Orcus Mitsu, I was supposed to be a big challenger. You know, people expected Gem Knights kind of take off. I feel like more of these particular decks are more specialized versions of them. And I'm not saying that specialized versions of these decks are bad. No. I need people to understand that, you know, this is a good base work for the meta. You're going to have people that are going to be coming into this, trying out different things and trying to challenge the meta with their particular spice that they have cooked up. You know, they're going to be like, oh, hey, you know, I got Gem Knights working. You know, this deck is really, really scary, especially if you're sitting down for a round 1 at some of these regionals. You can get out grinded very, very crazily. And especially with Vanquish Soul being a real competitor right now, after looking at these results, I think you've got a lot of things that you've got to consider as you're kind of seeing this new landscape kind of unfold itself here as players are just trying to figure out where they want to go from here. But Duelist Advance, I mean, getting this set first before the mind-warping powers of Justice Hunters actually appears like it was a very good choice for Konami. It definitely ensures that we'll have some cool other variations in the meta, and I think that's what we want to see. We want to see some challengers actually doing very well. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.